Okay, other techniques. Well, if you're new to Logic, you may not know it, but the drummer tracks, they work in conjunction with the arrangement markers on the arrangement marker track. And if you are completely new to making music and you're no good at making drum beats, the drummers will build the drums for you automatically to give you intro beats, verse beats, chorus beats, whatever the marker is set to at the top. The drummer will make the drums automatically to suit that section of the song. So the drums will be built for you automatically. Okay, so we're going to look at that now. Now, the arrangement markers that live on this arrangement marker track, the primary job of these markers is for working on changing your arrangement. And they're fantastic. If I want to move this chorus here, all I do is move the marker and all the content is moved with the marker. Let's move it back to here. So you can move sections of the song around. Okay, this is an 8-bar block of chorus. If I want to double this up, I just hold down Alt. I don't need to lasso the content or anything. I just get the chorus marker, hold down Alt, drag off a copy, drop it there, and it's doubled up the chorus. I just copied the marker and all the content is copied with the marker. Now I've got a double chorus. If I want to knock out a section, I just select the marker, backspace, delete, and all the content for that section is gone and the rest of the music moves up to fill the gap. So the markers are amazingly fast for working on your arrangement, copying sections over, moving sections and deleting sections. But the drummers will build the drums automatically following these markers for you if you're no good at making drums. So let's look at that. Okay, let's zoom in. So look up here. This is your global tracks area. And at the top will be the arrangement marker track with this plus. If you don't see this arrangement track, right click on the background of this area and at the top of the menu here it will say show arrangement. Click it and the arrangement marker track appears. When you click the plus on the arrangement marker track, boom, it creates an arrangement marker. They're always 8 bars long by default. Yes, you can drag them longer. Yes, you can drag them shorter, but they're always 8 bars long by default. And with the drop down list you can title them with any of these default titles. Intro, verse, chorus, bridge or outro. They can also be custom renamed, but forget about that. Okay, so they can have any of these default titles. Okay, so if you're no good at making drums, this is what you do. Okay, you think, right, I'm going to make a track. You create an arrangement marker. Okay, it's 8 bars long by default. I recommend you leave these at 8 bars in length, unless a section of your song is shorter than 8 bars. Okay, leave them at 8 bars long. Okay, if a section of your song is 16 bars long, don't make the marker 16 bars long. Just make one 8-bar section and then another the same. Yeah, make a second bit the same to give you 16 bars in total. So you start off, boom, you make an 8-bar default length marker and you title it intro. This is going to be the intro section. Now you're no good at making drums, so you just pencil in on the drumming track under this marker, boom, and the drummer automatically puts in a bit of intro drumming for you. This is Julian's suggestion for an intro bit of drumming. Yeah, simple intro drumming, not too busy. Okay, now with this bit of intro drumming there'll be a bass synth or something, so let's just put in a bass. I've got some arpeggiators set up on these tracks to quickly put in some patterns. Okay, so you just created an intro marker, penciled in the drumming, the drummer gives you a bit of intro drumming, then you put your bass or whatever to go with it. And there you go, there's your intro. The drummer does the drumming for you to suit the marker. This is an intro section, the drummer gives you intro drumming. Now you can leave this as it is, or you can tweak it. You know, I might say, well, I like that, I'll leave it as is, or I might say, well, I'm going to make it a bit more complex, and it gets a bit more complex, but it's still intro drumming. Or back it off a bit more simple. Whatever. Okay, and there's a fill in the middle here. Like, if I don't want that, I can back the fill off until there's no more fill in the middle. But there's my intro section. Okay, now I think, okay, there's 8 bars of intro. Do I want another 8 bars? Well, if I do, I just go Alt, drag a copy of the marker across, boom, and all the content's copied over with it. Now I've got 16 bars of intro, like that. Okay. So now I'm going to go, and I want to go into my verse beat. Okay, so I Alt drag a copy of the intro marker across. All the content gets copied over with it. Now this is going to be the verse, right? So I get this bit of drumming, delete it, change the marker to verse, and then pencil in a new bit of drumming to go with the bass that was copied over as well. And because the marker up here has been changed to verse, when I pencil in the new bit of drumming, the drummer gives me a verse beat, busier beat. Yeah, there's my verse beat. Okay. Now, if I can leave this as it is, or I can tweak it a bit. I might go, well, I want this to be a little bit busier. A little bit busier. Like that. And there's a fill in the middle. I don't want that, so I'll back the fills off. There we are. There's my verse beat. Fantastic. Now this is the verse, so at this point another synth will come in or something, right? So let's just whack in another synth here. Let's colour it a different colour. Okay. I've got, as I say, I've got some arpeggiators set up here to quickly put some patterns in without me having to pencil them in. Okay, so we go into this is our intro. The drummer built the beat for us. We just tweaked it a little bit. Okay, and then we go into the verse. The drummer built the verse beat for us. We tweaked it a little bit, and we've added another synth. There's the verse section, right? Okay, so how many bits of verse do you want? Well, I want, this is 8 bars, I want 32 bars of verse. So Alt, drag a copy, let go. Alt, drag a copy, let go. Alt, drag a copy, boom, let go like that. And I've copied the verse over. I've now got 32 bars of verse. Fantastic. Okay, now we're going to go into the chorus. Okay, so zoom in. So we've got 32 blocks of, we've got 32 bars of verse, 4 8-bar blocks. So we go Alt, we drag another copy of the verse across, let go, and all the content gets copied over. Right? Now we delete the drums, retitle this as chorus, pencil in the drums again, and the drummer gives us a chorus beat. Full on chorus beat. Fantastic. Fan-bloody-tastic, right? And another synth comes in at this point, so I'll just whack in another synth here. This is the chorus now, so another synth comes in. Okay, we changed the marker to chorus. We penciled in the drumming. The drummer gave us a chorus beat, and again we can use this as it is, or we can say, oh, I'm going to tweak this a bit. There's a fill in the middle. I don't want that. I'll back the fills off. There we are. And there's my chorus section. Fantastic. Right, what? 8 bars of chorus. I'll stick with 8 bars. What happens after this 8 bars of my chorus hook? Well, I'm going to go back to a simpler section with just the drums and the bass. So I get one of the intro blocks from here, Alt, drag the marker across, a copy of the marker, boom. All the content gets copied over here. Okay, let's zoom in on that. Knock out the drums, retitle this as bridge, pencil in the new bit of drumming, and the drummer gives me a bridge breakdown bit of drumming. So after the chorus it breaks down to just the bass and bridge drumming, the breakdown. Okay, like that. And then where am I going to go after that? Well, I could either have another 8 bars of bridge, Alt, copy this over like that, boom, I've got another 8 bars of bridge, let me undo that, or I'll go back to my verse. So I grab the verse bit here, Alt, copy that over, boom, I'm back into my verse, and then I'll go back to my chorus, boom, like that, and then I'll copy the chorus block over one more time, and here I'll knock out the drums, and I'm going to switch this to outro, so the marker now says outro, and pencil in the new bit of drumming. Now, if you put a marker as outro and then pencil in drumming underneath it, when a drummer puts in outro drumming, it's the same as the chorus, but it's even busier. So I've got 8 bars of chorus beat plus, and then another 8 bars of chorus with all the same instruments for the chorus, but the drumming is outro drumming. It's the same as the chorus, but even busier. So this is the chorus drumming, and this is the outro drumming, just a bit busier. There's more double kicks, etc. there is a bit of, and you just carry on like that. There's the song. I mean, how easy is that? The drummer builds the drumming based on what the marker is called. And you just build the structure as you go and pencil in each time, change the marker to the new section of the song, pencil in, and the drummer gives you the new bit of drumming. Copy over, the content all gets copied over, change the marker to a different section, knock out the drums, pencil in new drummers, and it follows whatever you've retitled the marker. The drums are built for you automatically, and then you can tweak them if you want to. Okay. It's so easy. And then once you've done that, you just select the drum track. That selects all the bits of drumming. And then using the ball here, you can set the average complexity for the whole drumming across the whole song. So you can say, well, I want the average complexity of all the drumming to be quite complex up here, about 80%, and all the drumming gets updated to be more complex on average across the whole track. Or you can say, I want the drumming to be much more simple across the whole track. Back it off and it becomes really simple on average across the whole track. Or you can make it quieter, and you can make it quieter or louder, whatever you like. Okay, so I'll set it to about 50% average complexity and 75% loudness, and it updates the whole drumming track. Yeah. Okay, and lastly, you can go into the end, the beginning here. Like there's 2 bits of intro. Okay. Now, if I select, I've already selected all the drums and set the average complexity for the whole drumming track. If we now just look at these 2 bits of intro, as I select either, the ball look is in identical position. They've both got identical complexity, but you may want the first bit of intro to be simpler, leading into a more complex bit of intro. So it starts off simple, the next bit of intro is a little bit busier. So all you do is you get the first bit of intro here and back it off a little bit like that. So it's simpler, and then the second bit of intro, bring it up a little bit in complexity, and now this bit will be more complex than that bit. And then the other thing you do is you go along and check each block, and some of them will have fills in the middle, like this one, and this one has got a fill in the middle. So I don't want the fill in the middle there, so I just select this region and bring the fills down until there's no fill in the middle like that. But there's still a fill at the end. This I don't want a fill in the middle. Back the fill off, there's no fill in the middle now. And at the end of each section, the drummer puts in a fill. You go and listen at the end to all the fills. Right, if you don't want the fill at the end, you select the region, turn the fills right off. There'll be no fill leading into the next bit. Or you can tweak the fill control, and each time you do, you get a slightly different fill at the end of the drumming leading into the next bit, and you choose, go through and try different fills until you get the one you want for each bit. Yeah, and then the same for the end of that bit, and the same for the end of that bit, etc. Okay, there you go. That's how easy it is to build a drum track automatically using these markers. The drummers just build the drums to suit the marker. Okay, and then if you want to, you can change the entire drummer. Okay, at the moment we've got Julian. I'm going to change it to Leia. So I switch to Leia. Leia gets put on the track, and all the drumming gets updated to Leia's drumming. But still, this is Leia playing intro drums where it's the intro, verse drums where it's the verse, chorus drums where it's the chorus, bridge drums where it's the bridge drums, outro where it's the outro, etc. But now it's Leia's drumming. So this is Leia's suggestion for the intro. This is Leia's suggestion for the verse. This is Leia's suggestion for the chorus. This is Leia's suggestion for the breakdown bridge. And Leia's suggestion for the busier outro beat. Yeah. Or I could update it to Magnus. Magnus gets put on the track. All the drumming gets updated to Magnus's drumming. But still, Magnus plays intro for intro marker sections, verse for verse marker sections, chorus for chorus marker sections, bridge for bridge, outro for outro. But no, this is Magnus's suggestion for the intro. This is Magnus's suggestion for the verse. Magnus's suggestion for the chorus. And for the bridge. And for the outro. Etc. Okay? You can switch any drummer and all the drumming gets updated, but it still follows the markers. Intro, verse, chorus, bridge, outro, etc. sections. The drumming will be correct for those bits. And of course, if you do update to a new drummer, then once you've done that, you can use the matrix ball as I showed before to set the average complexity for the new drummer across the whole track, as well as the loudness, and you can go in and work on the fills at the end of each section, etc. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so that's how the drummers build the drums automatically for you, following the markers and the technique for doing that. But we can still use the markers if we're designing our own drums using the editor. Okay, let's look at that now. Let's get rid of all the content. Okay, we're going to do the same copy and build technique, the classic copy and build technique that I showed you in the last bit, but we're going to do it this time using the markers. So I'm going to switch to Julian for the drummer. We'll start with intro marker, 8 bars long by default, intro, and I pencil in my first bit of drumming. Now above it is the intro marker. So yes, when I first pencil in the drumming, the drummer that I've got at the moment, Julian, gives me a piece of intro drumming to match the marker, but I can now make this into the drumming I want. I'm going to build a custom beat. So I'm going to start with my first bit of intro. 75% complexed, 75% loud, no kick drum, no phrase variation, no humanized, no fills, just shaker and hats with the hats backed off a bit. Just a basic shaker and hat beat. And with that I'll have my bass, of course, a little bit of bass or something like that. So let's put in the bass. Right, there we are. So I've used the marker. I've put in a marker, penciled in underneath, but I've now designed this into my custom first bit of intro. And I've got my bass going with it. Right, now I alt copy the marker over. I'm going to do the same thing I did before. Before, when I showed you the copy and build technique, I just alt dragged a copy of the drums over. This was a copy of that, and then I added this to build. But I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do the copying over with the marker, which will copy over not only the drums but any other content that goes with the drums in that section. So I alt drag a copy of the marker over, boom. This is my next 8 bars of intro. This is a copy of that. So here I just select these drums and I'm bringing the clap to build it a bit. Next bit, the claps are in. Okay, then we just repeat that again. Alt, drag off a copy of the marker, boom. The drums get copied over, and here I'm going to bring in the kick. Restrict it down to just doing the first beat of the bar. Like that. And then my last 8 bars of intro, alt, copy over the marker, boom, all the content's copied. This is a copy of that, and here we'll bring up the kick, a little bit busier, doing 2 beats to the bar. And there is my 32 bars of intro. Lovely jubbly. Right, let's now go to the verse. So, alt, copy the intro, the last intro section over. It copies over not only the drums but any other instruments that are playing as well, the bass in this case. So this drumming pattern is a copy of that one. Okay. Now what we do is we retitle this verse. The drumming region is called intro because it was a copy of the previous one, so we've retitled the marker as verse because we're now into the verse. We're going to retitle this drumming region. Okay, it's currently called intro, so I select it, and up here in its region box I'll rename it verse. Okay, and this is a copy of that, and let's just build again. So bring up the kick now to do 4 on the floor. Yeah, and I can bring the complexity right up. Hats up a bit busier. Lovely. I might even bring the kick up a smidge more. Put some phrase variation in. I'll get a few doubles in there like that. Not quite that many. There, just a double. Can you see that? Look, just a double on the second beat of every 4 bars. Of every 4th bar. Right. So there's my verse beat now. Now this is the verse. Okay, we've come from the intro into the verse, so another instrument comes in here. So you build in your next instrument, whatever that is. In this case, Let's put in this next instrument, which is this little chord thing like that. Okay, so we're at the verse now. Another instrument comes in. We've built the verse beat like that. Okay, so I've got my verse, 8 bars. Now I'm going to copy this over. Alt, copy. I've got 16 bars of verse. Alt, copy. 24 bars of verse. Alt, copy. I've now got 32 bars of verse. That's it. Okay, now we're going to go to the chorus. Alt, drag off another copy. Okay, this is a copy of that, but we copied all the content as well with the marker. Retitle this chorus, retitle the drumming here chorus, select it, change its title up here in the box. Chorus. And we're doing the same copy and build. This is a copy of that, so we just add, we just build it. I'm going to now, I could either bring the kick up to bring in all the doubles, like that, and let's see what we can get there. Yeah, that one I think. Like that, and I could bring in a percussion here, whatever I like, or what I'll do is actually bring the shakers and hats up to a more complex pattern, like that. And we're now to the chorus, so another instrument will come in. Let's just get another instrument in there, just give it a nice colour, and this will be our other instrument like that. I'm actually going to bring this up an octave. Okay, so there's our chorus now with an extra instrument coming in. And there's my chorus beat. And I did it by copying over, but I used the marker to copy over, which copied all the content and the drums, added an extra instrument, yeah, retitled this chorus, and this was a copy of that beat, so I've just added to it to build, so copy over and build. Yeah, and there's the chorus. Okay, and now I've got all the bits and I'm ready to build the structure of my song further. So if I want to keep this as a single chorus, I'll leave it like that, or maybe I'll drag another copy over so I've got a double chorus, but I don't think I will. I'm going to go from this 8 bars of chorus into my breakdown. So I'll look further back here, which I've got all these earlier bits. Okay, in the verse the purple instrument comes in the choruses the orange comes in as well. But the earlier intro bits have just got the bass and the drums. Shaker and hats, shaker hats and clap, shaker hats, claps and kick on the first beat of the bar, shaker hats, clap and kick doing 2 beats to the bar. So I can use any of these earlier broken down, earlier intro bits for my breakdown here after this busy chorus. So I'm going to go with this bit here with the claps, shaker hats and claps and just the bass. So I get this marker, Alt, drag a copy off, boom. And I won't, I could rename this bridge, but I won't. I'll just leave it like that. I know what this is. And then from that, I'll go to the next bit of intro with the kick, Alt, drag a copy, boom. So it goes out of the chorus, into the breakdown, with just the claps and the bass. At the end of that, it goes into the claps, bass and kick on the first beat of the bar, like that. And after that I'm going to go back into my verse. So I get the verse, Alt, drag off a copy, back to my verse, Alt, drag off a copy, another 8 bars of verse, and then back into my chorus, Alt, drag off a copy, chorus, Alt, drag off a copy, etc. And that's how you do that. Yeah. I've used the copy and build technique, but I did the copying by dragging the markers. Okay, but I still copied over and built, copied over and built, copied over and built, copied over and built, copied over and built with the chorus. Yeah? But I copied not only the drums but any other content underneath each bit as well. Yeah, easy peasy. Now the only thing missing is fills. Okay, and to put the fills in, either I can click on the drumming track which selects all the drum parts, then push up the fill control a bit and it will put a fill at the end of every bit. Then once I've got quickly put in a fill at the end of every bit like that, I can then go in and check each bit and tweak the fill for each bit to get the fill I want, and take fills out of any bits I don't want. Right, I can do that, or turn the fills off completely, or I just go in and add the fills manually each bit. So I go here, intro. Do I want to fill from this bit of intro into that? No. Do I want to fill from this bit of intro into that? Yes. So I highlight that and just put a little fill at the end, like that. Yeah, and you know with the fill controller, there it is. Every time you tweak the fill control a bit, you get a different fill. You just go through the fills, keep tweaking it until you find the one you want. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Then I don't want to fill from that bit of intro into that, but I want to fill from the last bit of intro into the verse. So I select this last bit of intro. Let's see, I'm going to look at that. Tweak the fill control. Keep tweaking it. What else have I got? Tweak. Come on, tweak, tweak, tweak. No. Yeah, let's try that. Maybe that one. Let's try that. Yeah, maybe that. Whatever. Okay, you just keep tweaking the fill control each time you get a different fill. Find the one you want. You know. Sometimes the fill control can be a little bit uncooperative and it won't give you so much. Yeah, let's try that one. Yeah, there, like that. Okay, then the verses. I don't want to fill from that into that bit, but there's 16 bars of verse. At the end of that first block of 8 and 8, I want to fill from this bit into the next 16 bars of verse. So I select that, push up the fill control. There's a little fill at the end. You know, and again I tweak that until I get the fill I want, etc. Yeah, I like that. Okay, now here's another thing to show you. So then we're into the next 16 bars of verse, and after that we go into the chorus. So at the end of this bit of verse, I want a big fill going into the chorus. Let's zoom in on this last bit of verse. Right, I want a big fill at the end of here, leading into the chorus. Now the problem is, I select this bit of verse, push up the fill control to get a big fill at the end. Yes, I get a big fill at the end. You know. And every time I tweak it, I get another big fill, you know. And I keep going until I find the one I like. Yeah. But as I'm working with the bigger fills up here, with the fill control up high, I'm getting fills every 2 bars in the previous, along the length of this piece of drumming, which you might not want. So how do you get around that? How do you get a big fill? Hello mate, my name's Big Phil. How do you get a big fill at the end of a section without getting fills in the previous bit of that section? Well, you just take the fills down completely, get a scissors and cut the end bar off. Chop it off and separate it. That won't make any difference to the beat. The beat will sound identical across these 7 plus 1 bar as it would if it was still 8 bars. But we've chopped off and isolated the last bar, and now with that and only that selected, I can put the fills to any amount I want and it won't affect the previous 7 bars. So now I can work on this last bar to get the fill I want. Keep tweaking it. Yeah, like that one. And that's the fill now that I want. Let's see that 2 bars in. Like that. That's how you get a big fill at the end of a section. Right? And you just keep going along and working on the fills where you want them. Yeah. There you go. That's how you do the custom drum track, copy and build technique using the markers. But now the point is we've got the custom drum track built with the copy and build technique, but we now have the markers, which means we can use them to work on the structure of our song. So if I want to double up this chorus here, right? Oh, I haven't got to grab all this content here and move it down to make a gap, and then grab this content and alt copy it over to double up my chorus. What about palaver? Right? I just get the chorus marker, alt, drag off a copy, drop it behind the chorus marker, boom, and I've doubled up the chorus. How hard can it be? Yeah? That you've got that beauty now of being able to work with the arrangement markers. I want to knock this this block of chorus out. I've got 8 bars, another 8 bars. I decide I only want this 8 bars. I don't want that one. Select the marker, backspace, delete, backspace, boom, it's gone. The rest of the music shuttles up to fill the gap. Yeah, I think I want to move this chorus after that intro. So it goes verse, 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 then to the breakdown, and then into the big chorus, and then back to the verse. Whatever. Don't like that? Move it back after the verse. I've got the luxury now of being able to work with these arrangement markers. And this is, that's how you do it. That's how you build your custom drum track with custom beats, built with the editor, the copy and build technique, but working with the markers. Yeah.